Good morning. My name is Margon, and I'm with the Green Team, and I would like to tell you a story. This story is called Awongalema, and it's about a tree. It's the name of a tree, Awongalema, and it's a story from Africa. Awongalema was a huge, big tree in Africa. It was the most beautiful tree you'd ever seen. Its bark reached up high in the sky, and it shimmered all the different colours of the rainbows. Its branches were tall and strong and reached up to the clouds, or looked as if it was touching the stars at night time. The leaves moved in the wind and made music, and the fruit was the juiciest, tastiest fruit you'd ever tasted. The tree supported lots of animals. Big cats came to scratch their claws, birds were nesting in them, or they would take small sticks and branches. Monkeys would swing from the branches, and when the fruit was ripe, animals and people would come from far and wide to eat its bounty. So the tree was very important for a lot of people and a lot of animals in quite a big area. One day, however, the tree was changing. Its bark turned into a dull grey colour. The branches, instead of reaching to the sky, were drooping to the ground. And the leaves were not singing in the wind anymore. They were crumpling, or the tree was losing its leaves. And the fruit, instead of being juicy, was turning bitter and rotten. "What's happening to our tree?" said all the animals. "It looks like our tree is dying. What can we do?" So the hornbill called everybody together, and they had a meeting to discuss what they would do about their tree. And the hornbill said, "Well, you know what it is? You have forgotten the name of your tree." "Oh, but we know the name of our tree. We do. It's Awoga, Agoma, Awuga. You know what? The animals had forgotten the name of the tree. And because they'd forgotten the name of the tree and to thank it for all its bounty, the tree was slowly dying. "So what can we do? Nobody remembers the name of the tree." "Ah," said the hornbill, "the mountain spirit up in the tallest mountain knows the name of all the trees. I think we need to send somebody up and ask the mountain spirit for the name of the tree. And then you can come back and you can call out the name of the tree and start using it again. And it probably will come back to life." So who's going to go? Who's the fastest? Who? It's so excitement. And the cheetah put its paw up and said, "I'll go. I'm the fastest animal." And everybody cheered and went, "Yay, go cheetah, go." And the cheetah ran and ran and ran all the way to the mountain and ran up the mountain as agile as he was. And he called out to the mountain spirit, "Mountain spirit, what's the name of our tree?" And the mountain spirit called, "Awongalema, Awongalema." So the cheetah remembered, and he ran down as fast as he could. And he ran, but because he was running so fast, he didn't see the big cliff and the cliff's edge. And he fell all the way down the gorge, right down to the bottom. And he hit the bottom of the ground. And he looked up, and it was a long way up. And he slowly climbed up the side of the ravine, the gorge, to get up. And he stumbled back with he thought it was a broken leg, but his pride was hurt and his body hurt as well. So when he got back to the animals, they all said, "So what's the name of the tree?" And he went, "I forgot. I ran so fast and I fell down a gorge and I forgot." So who's going to go next? It was a dangerous journey. Many animals weren't too keen to go anymore. "I'll go," said the lion. "I'm big and strong and fast as well. Maybe not as fast as cheetah, but I'll go." So the lion ran off, and he ran and he ran and he ran up the mountain, and he went to the mountain spirit and he asked, "What's the name of our tree?" "Awongalema, Awongalema." And the lion remembered, and he said it out loud back, "Awongalema." And he ran back as fast as he could. And he remembered the cheetah giving him a warning about the deep gorge that he fell down. So he made sure he didn't run that way. So he took a different route and he ran, but he slammed right into a huge big termite mound. It's about 6 foot tall. And the ants and the termites crawled all over him and he was stung everywhere and he was trying to swipe them off with his tail and pat them with his hand. And again he limped back into the village where all the animals were. And they said, "So what's the name of our tree, Awongalema?" No, he couldn't remember. He didn't remember. He was Agoma. No, he couldn't remember. So who's going to go next? Well, nobody wanted to go. Termites, gorge, I don't know. "I'll go," said a little voice. And they looked, and it was the tortoise. I don't think so. The tree will be dead by the time he goes. And he comes back. So they're having a huge big discussion who would go. The elephant said, "Oh, I can go, but you're too big. You can't climb a mountain." And as they were all discussing it, the tortoise had just set off already. And he was plodding along slowly but surely. And by the time the animals were nearly at the end of their discussion and decided who was going to go, the tortoise was already way on the horizon. So the tortoise plodded up the mountain and he asked the mountain spirit, "What's the name of our tree?" "Awongalema." Tortoise remembered. And he plodded back and he remembered to avoid the termite mounds wove in between them, and he avoided the big ravine that the cheetah had fallen down, and he slowly plodded back. And when he got back to where the animals were, the monkey shouted out, "I can see him." And they said, "So what's the name of our tree?" "Awongalema." And they all started chanting Awongalema. And the tree slowly came back to life again and reached up to the sky, and the bark changed back to its multicolour, and little leaf buds started to grow, and the tree was back to normal. And from then, the animals thanked the tree for whenever they took some fruit, or when they took a twig, or when they were allowed to nest in there. And that kept the tree going. So whenever we're in the woods, we need to thank the trees for being there and giving us what they can, and look after them.